Hi, Carl here for ProAV TV, and today we're taking a look at the new Z-axis attachment for the DJI Osmo. This is a sort of Steadicam style mechanical arm that sits between the X3 gimbal and the Osmo handle, taking out some of the vertical movements that the Osmo by itself doesn't combat. I was very intrigued when this was first announced, and now I've got my hands on one, the first thing that I notice is the build quality. It's beautifully machined and it feels very sturdy in your hands. When it's attached, it just feels like part of the original device. Attaching it is very easy. You simply remove the smartphone mount and the X3 gimbal. Then you take the protective caps off of the Z-axis and attach it to the handle. This arm then folds down and screws into the rosette. You can now reattach the smartphone mount to either of these rosettes, which leaves the other one now free for an additional accessory if you want it. And finally, the X3 gimbal mounts on the top of the arm. All the attachment points have a firm locking system, which really gives you peace of mind that they're connected properly. There's a button on the side which will change the angle of the arm in case you need to, and a dial on the top which will balance the tension on the springs. You want to adjust this dial until the arm naturally sits horizontally when the Osmo is still and vertical, like this. So once it was attached, I immediately asked my cheerful colleague Liam to walk through the office a couple of times for me. Bear in mind that these are my very first tests. I wasn't walking particularly carefully, and I'm certainly not an experienced gimbal operator, so please don't treat these tests as anything more than basic examples of the sort of results you can expect without much experience or practice. So as you can see, it's not a night and day difference, but I definitely think the footage with the Z-axis is smoother and has a slightly more fluid and natural feel. This is because it's a fully mechanical edition. There's no fancy electronics in here, just good old-fashioned physics. This also means, of course, that it has no impact on battery life, which is always nice. Now, the problem with relying on physics and gravity is that it can be a bit harder to control. For example, if you tilt the device to one side or back too far, the arm will simply stop working. It has to be upright. And so when you stop moving and try and hold the Osmo still, because of gravity, it's easy to get some bounce. As you can see here at the end of my test, the Osmo by itself stopped still at the end when I did. However, the Z-axis version keeps moving up and down slightly. Because of this, I wouldn't personally use the arm all the time. It depends on your shooting situation. I definitely recommend getting one though if you have an Osmo already, or if you're thinking of buying one. Personally, I'd keep it in my kit bag, and if I want to use the Osmo for a long walking shot where I'm in control of the situation, I'd definitely stick it on. If you'd like any more information, just visit our website, give us a call, or leave a comment below and start a conversation. Thanks for watching.